Hello and welcome to the channel. Happy Tuesday. On today's episodes, I have somewhat of a treat. We have a total transformation happening on this road glide because there is a ton of parts going on this motorcycle and there are still parts inbound. I've got about 38 boxes to open. That's a lot when you think about it, especially when they're that size. So what is that we were just looking at? It's a little bit of everything. I don't think we've actually done one of these on this channel. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. So let's get into this. But first, coffee. Let's go over this motorcycle. Let's look at it as a whole, and then let's look at what it is we're going to be doing. So what we're starting with is a 2018 black denim road glide. Oh. It's a 107. It was awesome in its moment in time. In 2018, this was awesome. Then Harley came out with a 114, and then now they have a 117, they have a 121. You can get that big 131 kit that Mama's got over there in Cujo. So now the 107 is on the smaller scale, believe it or not. You know, when I started in this industry, a 107 was pretty much unheard of. Anything over 100 inch was absolutely insanity. So now that's just the way they come. For all intents and purposes, this motorcycle is stock. It has some Vance & Hines slip-ons. It used to have some lights in there. You can actually see the connectors, but those are gone. There's no license plate mount on it anymore. It's obviously it's in need of some help. We've got stock suspension. We can see that through there. It does have a luggage rack. Woo! It has some pretty fancy black Harley-Davidson profile mirrors. Those are hot, guys. Those were hot in their time, I tell you what. We've got an engine guard, which he just put this on. He got this motorcycle and it was so close to stock, it was perfect. Now the front fender got changed out at some point. It's got this quote unquote wraparound fender. So let's go over everything that we've got here. What we're going to do is we're gonna put this nice fancy Shark Demon headlamp in it by Custom Dynamics. That is a great headlight. I love this headlight. And not only does it look mean, but it functions really, really well. We've got some low pro turn signals. We're gonna get rid of these big bullets. We're gonna put some low pro turn signals on it. We've got some G-brake rotors. I'll break those out of the box later. You'll get to see everything out of the box because it's all going on the motorcycle. Just know for now, we've got some G-brakes. We've got some Brembo monoblocks in there. This is a Brembo RCS 19 master cylinder. In the box, there's the reservoir. We've got some Santoro black Chacho bolts. We've got pretty much an entire engine kit here. So all the bolts are going to be black with black Chachos. We've got a ported S&S manifold. That's going to go on. New updated oil pump. This is the 8-lobe. This 2018 has never been opened up, so we can assume safely that it has the stock oil pump in it. We've got a Coso. We're gonna go to a mini gauge. We're not gonna use the big gauges. We're gonna go to this one tiny gauge. We've got a 30-30 cam, a Star 30-30 cam. Arlen S high flow air cleaners. They call that the big sucker. Lifters, lifter cuffs. So now we get into some more fun parts here. We've got the S&S black adjustable push rod. So I think you can tell a theme here. This is all going to end up being black. I do have some parts and pieces that aren't shown right here. There are some parts and pieces that are currently being shipped. They are on their way here. I also have up in the front garage, as a matter of fact, in my saddlebag, I have a bunch of powder coated parts and pieces for him. So most of this engine will be black. Just to give you a spoiler alert, we're gonna start with black on the top, black chrome, black chrome, black chrome, black, black. Primary cover will be black. We've got a nice Trask see-through clear primary cover coming. We've got the gold Trask power plate for the clutch, which is under the Memphis Shades windshield there. We've got the Trask Checkmate crankcase vent. We've got a black Thrashin top tree. We've got some 9-inch Thrashin risers here in the box. We've also got a bunch of other Thrashin parts and pieces in these boxes here. I honestly can't remember what everything is, so I'm not even gonna try to get it accurate. We've got some Arlen-ness mid controls in that box, so we're gonna do away with the forward controls, and this will get mid controls. That, if you're curious, is just a license plate fender mount. We have some black struts here. Now, my favorite part, we have a Nowoski Level 3 suspension right here. It is +2. Let's get these out so you can see them a little better. He went with gold fork tubes. These are hog halter lower legs. We've got some Nowoski 14-inch reservoir mount shocks. So we're gonna put Nowoski front and rear. So we have the carbon fiber front fender, everybody's favorite HPI 2-into-1 full-length exhaust system. And he's got some takeoff Prodigy wheels. That's a 19-inch front and an 18-inch rear. That, like I said, there are some parts and pieces missing. But anyhow, I did say that we had some powdered parts up front. So there's our powdered parts. There's the bike. If you need a recap of what exactly is going on, just hit rewind. I want to jump in real quick. We all know that we're adding suspension. We know that we're gonna add 2 inches in the front and 2 inches in the rear. So let's measure this distance right now while everything is still in its stock configuration. Currently, we are 5 inches to the bottom of the rail from the lift. And yes, this bike is level. It is not pitched this way or that way, not only front to rear, but left to right. It's level at this moment. I just set that up off camera to make sure we got an accurate measurement. So currently we are 5 inches ground clearance. In theory, if we add 2 inches to the suspension, what does everybody think we should have? If you said 7 inches, good for you. We're gonna find out how much we actually gain. And since I hadn't done this before, and I definitely haven't done it with you guys, let's do it together today. All right, so good morning. It's the next day. As you can tell, different shirt, different hair. Nah, same hair. Anyways, if you guys, let me just recap you. Since we're live now, we've got the exhaust on, we've got the cam installed. We don't have the throttle body on just yet because we have a intake manifold to change. We've got the struts flipped around. We've got these new cool fangled crash bar dealies on here. We got some few odds and ends. We've got the suspension on. The reservoir mounts will be here in a little bit. Those are still in shipment. Tracking says they'll be here today, so we're gonna hope the tracking is accurate. Now we are going to put on these newfangled rear tail light. What we have are A10 tail lights. We're gonna put these on. And I'm going to set you guys back into time lapse. I hope you guys enjoy the time lapse. It's something I actually haven't done yet on this channel, not in one episode, believe it or not. So This will be the first time I'm utilizing time lapse. I don't know why I couldn't figure that out. I always speed through everything, and somehow that just feels a little boring. Hopefully time lapse is a little more entertaining. Cutting it again. Now we got the suspension mounted. Just wanted to let you guys take a good look at that. I love it. These guys are awesome guys. The whole crew there is amazing, and they make amazing stuff. That's just my 2 cents for those of you that are interested. Notice we kept it all murdered out. Everything's black, nice and clean. Now we've got what's in the case here. This is really what I wanted to talk about. Let's get this fender out of the way. This is how they send this to you guys. This is a full-fledged gun case. When you order a level 3 suspension, this is what you expect right here. There is virtually no way for this to get damaged. They take extreme care and caution. This is mounted in nice foam. Everything about it is clean. The suspension is clean. This was hand assembled, guys. This was put together by Pete himself. He put this together. You might ask, does he normally do that? Yes and no. It just depends on what's going on and how busy they are. In the box, we've got our wheel spacers. We've got some conical black spacers. We've got our forks. We've got our brake mounts already mounted to the lower legs. So that's one less thing we have to deal with. We've got some axle caps, we've got our axle, and we've got our Brembo caliper mounts. Not only the spacers, the hardware, and pretty much anything you need. I'm gonna get this mounted. You guys are gonna watch that in time lapse. Now the fun part, we're going to take all this off. The entire brake system's coming off. We're changing the master cylinder, we're changing the calipers. So we're going to a Brembo RCS 19 master cylinder. We've got Brembo monoblock calipers. We've got brake lines that will be here in the morning. We are replacing the nacelle. We're putting a whole new speedo assembly on. The ignition switch is going to go away. Clutch master cylinder will remain. The switch boxes will remain. But everything else about it's going away. Anyhow, I'm excited at this part. This is going to really complete that front end. It's really going to look tough when we're done. So let me stop talking. I'm going to kick you back into time lapse, and we're going to get all this changed around. So how many of you remember the question we asked earlier? How much frame height do we actually gain by adding +2 and +2, front and rear? I believe we measured it at 5 earlier. We can reference the video right here for that answer. Currently we are 5 inches. Let's see what we got now. 7 and an 8. And the bike is completely level. So we gained about 2 inches frame height. 2 and an 1/8. We actually gained just a smidge more. Some of that may have to do with the tires as well, so let's not forget that. The tires we took off, they're rather bald, and this tire is fairly new. So that could explain that 1/8 inch difference. We gained 2 inches in the frame. So when you add +2 to your suspension, you get +2. So for those of you that were wondering, now you know, and now you saw it for yourself. So how about we do a little walk around of this bike while we're in the garage here. We still have some brake lines that are on the way. FedEx, now that's FedEx. And if any of you guys know about FedEx, FedEx is not to be trusted at all. FedEx is wrong all the time. We've had parts missing, things that got overnighted that did make it here overnight, things that were just completely lost in shipping and never to be found. So I don't take everything that FedEx has to say for stone, but allegedly the brake lines will be here in about an hour. So I'm getting ready for that. Anyways, let's go over what we've got so far and what we've done. So let's get an overall stand back view of this motorcycle now. Looks a little bit different. I know the saddlebags aren't on it, and I know my bike's in the way, but she looks tough, doesn't she? Way tougher than she started. So let's start in the beginning. Up front, we put the Prodigy wheels on. We've got G-brake 13-inch oversized wave rotors. We've got Brembo monoblock calipers, Nowaski level 3 gold +2 front forks, Shark Demon headlight. We've got a Memphis Shades windshield, Custom Dynamics turn signals, an Arlen Ness carbon fiber front fender. We've got this fancy little engine guard. Although this was on here to begin with, we did add the rear one. We now have Arlen Ness mid controls, Santoro Chacho black bolts everywhere. We've got a texture black primary. We've got a Trask power plate with a Trask see-through cover, Thrashin foot pegs, Thrashin mini foot board. We've got a Bamco horn delete. We've got Nowaski 14-inch remote reservoir suspension on the rear with some OG Moto mounts. We changed out the chrome pitted struts to some nice black ones. We've got those A10 taillights I had just mentioned. We've got a nice tuck-away curved license plate. We've got Geezer brakes rear rotor. We've got an HPI full-length 2-in-1. Man, that's a beautiful pipe, guys. Beautiful pipe. We've got a Corbin seat. I'm not sure the name of this one, but he got himself a Corbin seat. We've got an Arlen Ness Big Sucker air cleaner. We've got a Star 3030 cam in here, powered by a Thundermax. So up top here, we've got some Thrashin mid-bend bars, Thrashin 9-inch riser with the Thrashin triple tree, Koso D2 gauge setup, which looks really fantastic, ODI Ruffian grips. And let me just say, guys, these grips are really nice feeling. Brembo RCS 19 master cylinder. We've got the Brembo remote reservoir and a Thrashin perch clamp. We also have a Flowmoto clutch lever, and we're sticking currently with the stock Brembo lever. Now, he may or may not change that out, but that's what's going to stay there for now. We also have some Rockford Fosgate speakers hidden behind those covers. That about finishes her off, guys. This bike is a beauty. She came to me somewhat of a turd. She was rusty. She'd been parked out in the trees. She'd been sitting in the field for a while, picking up rust and pit marks and all that. And now look at her. Awesome. And I'm sure you guys want to hear her run. Look at that D2 gauge. Oh, yes. She is as tough as she sounds. Headed to Daytona. I'm riding this to Daytona to deliver it to this gentleman. I'm going out of my way to help him. I want him to be able to ride this at the event, and right now there's not any feasible way for him to get it unless I take it. Otherwise, he'll have to get it Sunday, and then the event's over. Melissa's over there watching Jasmine Kane. I'm gonna go meet her, but I'm gonna drop this off to Jordan on the way. Once the event is over, we're gonna do a bunch more work too. So stay tuned for what this bike ultimately becomes. This is just part of the transformation. This basically is step one. And I think we're gonna go through 2 to 3 stages of this. But I'm headed to Daytona right now. See you there. as always, guys, wherever you be, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. Stay upside, and we'll see you on the flip.